Did Julius Caesar exist? Did Cicero exist? Did Socrates or Aristotle or Mark Antony? Almost no one questions whether these people existed. So why is there so much controversy around the question, did Jesus exist? I can assure you, as a historian, that whatever else you might want to say about Jesus, he certainly existed. The historical Jesus may not have been the person that people imagine today, but he was a real person, and we can know some things about him. You don't have to believe that Jesus was the Son of God in order to accept the facts of history. And that's what I deal with in my book, the facts. Skeptics like to say that we don't have the original text of any of the Gospels of the New Testament, and we don't have any historical records of Jesus from his day. That's absolutely right, but it's also true of virtually everyone who lived at his time, including such powerful and important figures as Pontius Pilate, the governor of Judea, and Josephus, the Jewish historian. Some of those who claim that Jesus was a myth argue that he was invented along the lines of the gods of pagan mythology, who also died and were resurrected. In my book, I show why that also cannot be correct. The evidence for the historical Jesus, as for Pilate and Josephus, is overwhelming when looked at through the impartial lens of the historian. At the same time, the historical record indicates that Jesus was not who most people believe he was. Like other Jewish preachers of his day, Jesus proclaimed that the world was controlled by forces of evil. But God was soon going to intervene in history and overthrow the forces of evil and destroy everything and everyone who was opposed to him. God would then set up a utopian kingdom here on earth. And Jesus said this was going to happen within his own generation. It obviously never happened. As a result, the followers of Jesus changed his story and altered his message. This is what led to the birth of Christianity. Did Jesus exist is a historical detective story. I invite you to look at the hard, cold facts of the case and judge for yourself.
You want to live my life? You want to live with your parents? It's not that glamorous. Yeah, but the shroud, I remember watching a website a long time ago. I think his name is Dan Porter. He put some really good convincing evidence about the shroud. And the only reason it was dated to 1300 AD is because they took a corner of the shroud that was actually French woven into the fabric as a replacement because the corners got worn out over the centuries. So, but the shroud is authentic. You can't deny that. It's no forgery. There's no way. I think it's more convenient for people to want to believe that Jesus never existed. Therefore, there's no accountability for their actions.